Kavet the Catalyst, Lightsleepers. How did I get into beats and making beats, production? It's out of necessity, really. You know, it's all about rhyming. But back in the day, it's like, what would I rhyme over? So that's how I started buying the 12-inch singles, because I started realizing they had an instrumental on the other side. So I'd buy, you know, Gangstar singles and, you know, buy all these singles and then rhyme over those instrumental. And then from there, I had all these records, right? And I said, oh, why don't I start mixing these records? So I ordered 2 Gemini belt-driven turntables with a Scratch Master mixer in it from New York. Money order. Took like almost a month. I thought they ripped me off. Upstairs Records in New York. And it came in the mail. Boom, happiest day of my life. I got to play the records. I started mixing. I was like, hey, I'm gonna start mixing these records. Then I started realizing, wait a minute, my dad has records. Because my dad was a musician. He played, I think, clarinet and trumpet. And he had records. He was in a band, kind of like a funk, kind of like a Kalapana, a little bit more funky, like an underground band in Hawaii. So he had all these records, and I started noticing the things that were sampled on the 12 inches that I bought. I think I heard that on my dad's records. So I was thinking, wait a minute, I swear I know where that sample is. So I go into my dad's records and pull out the records and just start looking for the samples that they used, you know? Like, oh, hey, Dad. And then I'd find the sample and be like, oh, dude, I found the original sample. That's crazy. I didn't know that Nice and Smooth used this, or I didn't know, like, you know, Black Sheep used that, or Tribe used this, and I'd be bugging out. So that's when I ordered the Gemini sampler. It's like about that big, the big old black pad, had like 6 little buttons and sampled about 3 seconds each button. So I'd take the same records that Lord Finesse sampled, or, you know, Digging into Crates or Premiere. I find those records, you get those drum breaks and just chop them on that 3-second straight gritty analog sampler. And I just started making beats, man, just that. And then eventually bought like a Tascam Portal 1 4-track, analog tape 4-track. Like, I didn't want to rap over anybody else's beats anymore. I wanted to scratch on my own records. So I started making beats, started rhyming, started scratching on my own beats, and that's pretty much how it is, man. But that Gemini sampler, that's all what it started. And then my homie Just 1-0, he picked up this Ensoniq EPS 16 Plus, which is the precursor to the ASR 10. At that point, I was just using the S20, and then he had to move to San Francisco. So yeah, he sold it to me. Before he left, he just showed me how to chop a few times. I made like a lot of beats on this thing, and this is like the OG right here, like analog. Eventually got one of these little kids. I got me an SP404 SX. Because I made beats and I felt that there needed to be a new avenue for producers to kind of meet, to share ideas, to have other people listen to their music, to get critique, to learn about the newest hardware and software. Like, I find that valuable, you know? So, because my name is The Catalyst, it's like, who else is gonna do it, man? I mean, in 2003 and 4, ain't nobody really trying to do that. So right around that time, I always thought about, you know, what's next kind of deal. Because I had an event called Trip the Lights, which was like a audio, visual kind of event. So there'd be an art show, live art, people playing, you know, underground hip hop, live instruments, beat machines, and all that good stuff. So right around 2003 or 4, Sentric came up to me and was like, yo, Kavet, man, Melzy came back from New York and he got this DVD, and they have this thing called the IPA, International Producers Association, and they do a beat battle. I was like, what? A beat battle? So he's like, yeah, you gotta watch this DVD. I told him, oh man, you gotta check this out. So I showed it to him, and then he was stoked. So shortly after that, you know, the IPA beat battle inspired Kavet to create Beatroot. So I believe it was around 2004. That's when he had the first event, which was you know, more like a test or an experiment. Everybody had MPC 2000s, 2000 XLs, and SP1200s, and it was like 6 or 8 dudes just battling beat for beat, high energy, hype, just battling, and all the beats were like banging. So I was like, we gotta do this in Hawaii. So at that event called Trip the Lights, I set up the first beat battle in Hawaii. We had 8 producers sign up. Some of them were Slap Symphony, DJ Monkey, Ion Mike, Sentric, Ray Skelton, DJ Fame. Fame won, DJ Jesse Fame. And then I think Fame won that one. So that was the first beat battle. It was we called it Beatroot. But not till like a year or two later, I started figuring like, you know, we should actually take it the route of the IPA and do it as a 6 qualifiers. One of the qualifiers will battle at a grand championship. You know, at first I used to do it as an event, a monthly event. Then I started seeing that attendance started dropping, and I guess people started getting uninterested. I think it's because like when you give it to them so much, people just take it for granted, you know. And that's how I felt. I was doing these dope beat battles with Hawaii producers every month, and yeah, it was $5. But I mean, where else are you gonna see that? They weren't even doing that in LA. I mean, in other states, they weren't doing what we're doing. But I think Hawaii, I felt like Hawaii took for granted, and they stopped coming. The numbers started shrinking, and yeah. So I got a tip from Lael's Beats. The Easy Music might be interested in sponsoring it. So we moved it to Easy Music, and we had it free every Thursday, one Thursday of every month, free qualifier. And then the Grand Championships is like the boom, the final hurrah to see who won. So right now we got, so there's 6 Grand Championships, and the winner of the 6 Grand Champions are gonna battle for like an ultimate supremacy Grand Championship nest. So what is my drive? My drive is to get people on, you know. I felt that I've been put on, so it's time to like, you know, share the love. So hopefully everybody can network and connect, and maybe somebody one day will get a Grammy. Maybe somebody one day will hear the song on the radio, you know, or something to that extent. And that'd be awesome. It'd be Hawaii. It'd be like a Beatroot alumni, you know. Like you say you graduated from Harvard or Yale. You're like, man, I graduated from Beatroot. And you know, that's where I started, you know what I mean? Now I'm like doing all these things. And hopefully they can bring it back to Beatroot, showcase, you know, maybe do a class, you know, speak on it, you know what I mean? Speak on the industry, speak about beats, speak about their experiences, just take it full circle, just keep it going. So that's pretty much Beatroot.